Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda. Off here to a 1v1 on Pachino Stalemate. In the south stands the one and only Inverse, fighting for America, freedom, and democracy. Here with the first invasion strain to armoured battle group, popular as ever, and I imagine going to be seeing some nerfs in the patch, I think, on Tuesday. Easy, I believe, has been confirmed to get nerfed, for example. So, right into the fast GP of Inverse. As he sets up freedom and democracy. In the other end, we have Native, fighting for the Valid, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 15th Panzergrenadier Division. Grenadiers start here with one Pioneer start here, so not, in fact, going for multiple Grenadiers here. An interesting opening there from a Native. Inverse rushing northwards with this Jeep. Scout straight for the field point, then pushing towards the southern points here. Interesting capping order there from Inverse. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters for the continued and generous support of the Propagandacast. I'm going to keep making videos like I do, so big thanks to all those. And a big thanks to all those people who keep liking and commenting on the videos. Helps also by, getting YouTube algorithms to spread my video to more people. So big thanks to all those charming people. Rifle squad out here for Inverse, pushing southwards there as the Jeep continues to move northwards here, rapidly advancing through the scorched out northern orchard here of Pachino. Grenadiers moving up here for Native. We got sandbags, we got barbed wire here from Native. Note the positioning here, how he's doing it. Most players will lay up the sandbags right next to the fuel pump, but he goes for here, a bit closer to his own base, and then, of course, wires off. That will make it harder for Inverse to use it, but also provides more protection against this position here, I suppose. South side here, Pioneers wiring off the truck while they're grabbing it. Glenn's catching the raft board here. First shots fired here, and Germany in for there, pushing back here. Inverse rifleman there. He could have tried to pull back into a better position, fought on, but with two Grenadier squads there bearing down there with a hailstorm of Conan TK bolt action rifle fire. Inverse, I think, definitely made the right choice here. Riflemen are ready. What is next? Here we got an MU-42 there for Native. No sign of a battle group yet, though the fact we haven't seen Fallschirm Pioneer definitely indicates, or most likely indicates, not Luftwaffe. This could be mechanized, could be breakthrough. Could be either those two. I suppose if I had to speculate a bit more, the fact he just went for only one Pioneer squad and nothing else could indicate he's planning something like breakthrough, because he intends to get more infantry out faster to benefit from the MP40 Grenadiers. We'll have to see. Machining gewehr moving up here. So what is it from Native is the big question. Yeah, most Valor players will typically tend to go for either Ken, Crown, or Pioneer squad here in the early game. It's surprisingly rare they'll just go straight for the infantry and just skip another unit out of the headquarters. More fighting around the center, machine team around to support the Grenadiers here, gauging the raft squad here by the church in the south here. Grenadier squad splitting off here. This is a bit risky there, and there go obviously the Jeep flanking up behind Native here as Inverse dives in there, looking to hit the flank there. The info to this Jeep, thumbs up, forcing going to deal with that. And we even got the raft coming up, exploiting further the gap here created in the machine gun's line of fire. No, decides not to exploit it, perhaps. Oh, perhaps he's going for it. We've got a third raft squad almost on its roll here for Inverse. Jeep being forced back. Another Grenadier squad out, and we do have breakthrough confirmed. As now we can see the assault packages going up there for Natives Grenadiers, deciding to equip them more aggressively with the machine and pistol and the field stick. I imagine we're then going to be looking at the infantry officer quarters there to upgrade, because that gives them Veterans 1, which besides, the immediate Veterans 1 gives them experience game bonus, which is really big for the Grenadiers. There you go, the Jeep went down. Great kill here for Native in the early game. Quite the blow there to Inverse and the first Infantry Division as the Jeep is lit up there. That is definitely going to be helping out Native quite a bit there. Plus, of course, now Veterans 1 makes these Grenadiers much nastier, as they can hit Veterans 2 and Veterans 3 very rapidly. It's a very big series of upgrades there. And, of course, they have confirmed that MP40s will be nerfed alongside the MD42 for those wondering. South side here, Pioneers keep advancing here, going for that submissions point. Rail squad moving in here. As for Inverse, we do get the Infantry Support Center here. Very meta strategy there from him. Pioneers there push back with Rail squad as Inverse keeps up the pace and the pressure. Center being secured here by the MP40 Grenadiers, and up north here, finally Native starts grabbing in the northern fuel point. Same time, we got the Panzer Grenadier Company up for Native and the German Army, the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division. Shots fired here, Grenadiers vs. Rail squad, machining gewehr moving vorwärts. There's a lot of action here, and there you go, captain out, BARs on the way to Inverse. And I would not be surprised then also get here the munition surplus. That way make the BA upgrades, or the additional BARs, cheaper. MP40 there versus the Rifle Squad on the South. Gun is closing in here. Do we get MP40s for them? Yes, we are in fact getting, but the bars are now popping here. And Native's machine gun is sent fleeing there by Inverse and his brave GIs. So fighting continues in the south. The MP40 is almost done. We got the Panzer Grenadier Company right around the corner as more troops pouring in towards the cemetery there. He should retreat the Grenadiers now before he gets a full wipe suffered here. There we go. MP40s are upgraded. And at the same time, we got fun around the fuel point here. Captain and Rifle Squad surrounding one Grenadier squad here. Getting a lot of damage in, but the MP40 Grenadiers are getting quite an impact back on the Riflemen. Down to 2 men, but ultimately are forced to withdraw here. Further up north here, Grenadiers, Pioneers moving in. And we got Panzer Grenadiers as well here from Native. An interesting move here. Most players for these kind of builds will go hard on the MP40 Grenadiers. And typically, in fact, what they'll do is skip the Panzer Grenadiers entirely. Personally, I go for a bit of mix. If I do go for this, there's a wait until they release the nerfs. I'm actually trying to just forego MP40 Grenadiers entirely and, experiment more with just hard Panzer Grenadier builds. They're surprisingly good. But, anyways, these kind of like more mixed strategies, like a fair amount of Grenadiers, and then Panzer Grenadiers is definitely a bit more unusual here. You could, of course, transfer out one of the Grenadier squads, by the way, for more Panzer Grenadiers. I think would be pretty good as well here, but either way, we do have some more hardened Panzer Grenadiers arriving here to support the Ersatz Panzer Grenadier, if you will. Captain here being surrounded by German infantry up north, Pioneers and Grenadiers there going at it, and the Centre Rifle Squad's about to have themselves a hell of a nasty surprise. Alright, Carl, we got this. We just got to grab the fuel point. Half the German army's here. We got to get out of here. We got to get out. Sent packing as he runs into half the German army there. 2 MP40 Grenadiers and a Panzer Grenadier squad is definitely not what you want to run into if you're just 2 guys from Tennessee with a pair of BARs. But being murdered here. Yeah, he does have a mission surplus upgrade there. Thumbs up to Inverse. I mean, it's not a big surprise, but it's one of those primary reasons why you see him for the support center so much, because it's just such a great upgrade and just really allows you to just hit those double bars very fast. Plus, of course, you get other great upgrades here from the support center. Just makes your barred up rifle even more powerful. Rifle Squad is sent packing as Native there comes in swinging here for the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division, 6th Panzer Grenadier Company. Up north, the Grenadiers push back. Of course, a Panzer Grenadier Division had a lot of companies, as there are a total of 3 Panzer Grenadier regiments, each with 2 Panzer Grenadier battalions. Fun fact. But on the hand, they just basically had 1 Panzer battalion, which had typically been equipped with 1 Stug battalion. That's another fun side note. Hector goes for another Panzer Grenadier squad, so 3 MP40 Grenadiers and 2 Panzer Grenadier squads is definitely an interesting build here by Native. Definitely it's going to require also then the officer quarters for the Panzer Grenadiers Company to get those Panzer veterans won. Yeah, this definitely is a bit less typical. I think most players in this situation need to go for full Grenadiers and then, like, say, try and push fast for the Panzer Company. So an interesting choice here by Native. Falling back with the Grenadiers here. You're definitely going to need the officer quarters for these Panzer Grenadiers. He's also going to need the medical station. This is also another reason why these kind of MP40 Grenadiers builds are very popular, because you can use the medikit, meaning you can just skip this. So there's a lot of value in that. Anyways, up north, machine gun pioneers catching it in versus forces up here. In the center, Ralph Squad's about to run to the MP40 Grenadiers, and further up north, Panzer Grenadiers advancing there for Native as goes to the northern victory point here. A lot of fighting here, crossover points. Grenadiers, I think, need to close in here. And again, perhaps not as much. Getting some lot of damage in there. And there you go, in versus research grenades as well. Also very common here. Machine gun there. Gets forced off here. Ralph Squad being pushed back by the MP40 building Grenadiers. And in the center, German infantry is being slammed down here by Inverses and the 1st Infantry Division's GIs. Scouts holding back. And southwards here. Breakthrough there by the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division as Lieutenant Bachmann there strikes through for the fatherland. Rifle Squad pushing in. Back at Inverses base. Not much else here happening. We do get the advanced logistics for cheaper reinforcements, quite crucial. Also has me thinking he's gone for, 4 Rifle Squads minimum. Some players will even go for 5 Rifle Squads with these kind of builds, because again, advanced logistics makes it very cheap, or relatively cheap to keep all these things reinforced here. At the same time, we got the right hand side being exploited here, or explored with rapid production and the blitzkrieg abilities, so Likely a tiger push here from Native against Inverse. We get the... No healing yet, and we don't have the Panzergrenadier officer quarters up either here. He does have the support element, so likely a Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung here. Over to Inverse, who's going for Seek and Destroy. He's obviously also going down the right-hand side of his branch. The battle group. In fact, he's going a bit more hard right there, but he's obviously going to pull for the EC8. Panzergrenadiers arrived squad here, more Panzergrenadiers arriving. Again, this is where having the officer quarters up for the Panzergrenadiers would help There's Rifleman versus Inverse. Panzergrenadiers arrived squad with a grenade being chucked here. Oh, that was a good throw here. We could see wipe an Inverse. Yes. No. Oh, yes. There we go. Rival squad wiped it. A great kill for Native. Quite the blow there to Inverse. Quite the blow. And that, of course, also means immediate veterans one. Then we got the BARs there dropped by the Rifleman. Hey, look, Jürgen. It's eine Überraschung. Ein amerikanischer Maschinengewehr. Rifle squad caught with the Grenadiers and retreated. That could be another weapon Inverse, who is, of course, forced to replace the utterly demolished GIs there with another fresh squad here. Mines in the center here from Native, looking to, of course, forestall any immediate American advance up the main road. Thumbs up there to Native and Deutschland. In the south here, MP40 Grenadier Swing Forts could do, of course, with a bit of self-healing. Still no healing here, and no sound in the officer quarters. I've not been surprised with them planning to rush at this point, but push out a Stug and a Sturmgeschütze. Back here at Inverse's base, nothing quite transpiring further here. Big Allied advance here. We got, of course, more BRs being hacked to the ones that just arrived.
Victory point now under
South being grabbed here by the MP40 Grenadiers. Fresh waves of German infantry being poured in here. I mean, he's got 5 infantry squad versus Inverse's 4. I mean, that's actually, like, you know, pretty solid there if you can manage it. And so far, he's doing quite well with it. If you sort of notice the map control here.
Taking it personally.
Got the infantry guns bringing first. In a sense, acting as a bullet shield there for the Panzer Grenadiers. It probably would have helped if both of them had been more healed up. But you do get a grenade assault here. Bit late for the party. But there you go. Inverse not paying attention. Suffering quite a bit of damage and losses. Troops have arrived in the center here. Panzer goes there with the double bars, though again, low on health. Again, this is why he really wants that healing and he's pushing for Stug. Particularly because the Panzer Grenadiers are a fair bit expensive to reinforce compared to, say, Grenadiers. Plus, I mean, again, they're, you know, just, like, one of them is, like, ready to die. Hey, Helmut, are you alright? Oh, say, yeah, I'm just feeling a bit under the weather. Don't mind me. Is that my spleen? See, he's fine, Jürgen. Being a bit too cautious. Sturmgeschütz moving up here, backed up with him for the Grenadiers, and he does have now the officer quarters up here. Oh, he actually did go for that. Very good. Thumbs up then. Gets into point blank blast, of course. He's also... No, he's still not going for the healing there, by the way. Definitely feel like he needs to go for that. So once you go for, like, the more elite stuff, they really want the healing to heal them up, because, again, these Panthers can actually soak up a lot of damage, so you can really save a lot of manpower on the right circumstance if you remember to go for healing there. You just immediately lost one guy, and there's, like, several casualties soon to happen as well here, so definitely, yeah, no, I feel like these are avoidable casualties there for Native. Up north here, Sturmgeschütz pushing forwards, noting no pinlight machine gun there. Bit of notice, I'd say, for Native, not for Inverse, obviously. Bung grenade, they're definitely making a hell of an impact in the double barred. Panzer there forced to withdraw as well here. Back for Inverse. More troop reinforcing healing here. He is inching ever closer towards the EC8. Sturmgeschütz falling a bit back. Still no healing. Which again, considering how low of health these Panzer Grenadiers have, I mean, like, you know, they're quickly going to have to, like, run back anyways for healing. So I feel like at this point, the faster you can get this going, the better, because he's really going to end up just tossing away a lot of manpower, like otherwise expensive Panzer Grenadier upgrades at this, or Panzer Grenadier replacement at this stage. South City Guns catching the Ralph squad. We got mines as well here, though, from Native. Thumbs up. Fresh push here by Inverse and the first infiltration towards the center here. Meanwhile, machine gun being pushed towards the fuel point here. A lot of back and forth action here. A lot of murderous engagements, and really just infantry heavy play there by Native, which again does make it slightly peculiar. Oh, there goes, finally got the healing on the way there. Like, if you're gonna go again for, like, a heavy infantry build like this, you really also want, like, you know, the medical station. I mean, 5 infantry squads and then, like, waiting this long to get, like, the medical station upgrade there is definitely a bit
Rifles losing integrity.
I mean, could at least build a medic bank. I mean, obviously a bit more expensive in some regards, but, you know, theoretically could also fit into that if you really didn't want to see spend fuel on it. South of Ralph squad was the Pioneers and the Panzer Grenadiers. Again, low health, forced to withdraw. The other chaps up north, I think, yeah, also really pulled back quickly, so yeah. Finally got the healing going. Again, very crucial. I suppose you could also go on for like an ambulance half-time if you wanted to. I mean, there's plenty of choices there. Inverse with the motor pool. Obviously, with one here to rob with the Sturmgeschütz. Like, just going to go for anti-tank guns here. In this regard, I mean, and this course is worth noting, but his opponents been doing like a pretty good job. They're denying him fuel, their resources agree. They're making it harder for Inverse to like just get the upgrades and have plenty of fuel to let, you know, spend on call-ins. Back to native here, though. It's a German army, another Sturmgeschütz stars for gate, but again, a lot of infantry here. Strong infantry complement here from the 15th Panzer Grenadier to be shown, and there you go. Got the double barred Panzer Grenadier as the Ralph Squad. We got Vecchi too as well there. Definitely becoming a bit of a nightmare here for Inverse's GIs. Sturmgeschütz crashing through here, punching forebats, though no machine guns still than the Stugs. They do benefit from that a fair bit. North here, German troops advancing. Inverse's M1 hanging almost ready here. The Rifleman forced withdraw here as the point-blank blast they just delivers the high explosive shells with unerring accuracy, evaporating half the Ralph squad and leaving the rest quite traumatized. And the South German troops advancing here. Inverse though has been able to, like, you know, keep up good pressure here on Native though with his infantry plays. And Native again, despite, you know, having like a lot more infantry, has been struggling, I think, part to again like maintain better macros. I think part of it again is just down to like, you know, despite having two Panzer Grenadier squads, it was a rather slow game. The medical station upgrades, a lot of them is just like, you know, have to meet the retreat because they just couldn't take any damage. South City Grenadiers Ralph squad there. Grenades being chucked here but dodged mostly. Good try up to breach the building with the Panzer Grenadiers. Grenadiers forced back here by the Ralph squad. There we got Easelwin before the Grenadiers. Well here now for Native. Very good for him, and definitely a bit of headache here for Inverse. Quick pineapple grenade here on the Panzer Grenadier. Mostly dots, except Helbut definitely suffers quite a few injuries. Ralph squad was the other Panzer squad here. A lot of fighting here. Bung grenade here. Inverse quick to dodge out there and dodge back in. This is the sort of situation where breach would just make more sense from, honestly. He would just force him out of the building out of the way, but then secured it. And in the end, has to withdraw here from the engagement as it turns a bit pear-shaped. In the south side, the Grenadiers continue to flank up. Inverse, though, got the captain on the job here. So, meanwhile, not too far away from the Tiger tank. It's sort of delayed by going for this one. Nebelwerfer here for Native. With only one anti-tank gun, I do have to wonder if the Nebelwerfer is really that necessary. Could just not say go for more, particularly since, you know, he does have like Legends 1 thanks to that, so you can actually get the flares going. That could provide him with a degree of, you know, information that could be quite helpful in dealing with Inverse and stuff. But there you go. Inverse has got the Sherman EC8 out here. Brad Pitt has arrived. Rifle squad pushing northwards here. And you foot come the entire northern side here. And certainly, personally, against armoured, I'd probably also gone for like a third Stug over a Nebelwerfer in anticipation of an EC8, because triple Stugs typically tends to get the job done if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to need 4 Stugs. With Blitzkrieg, though, you can actually just have 2 Stugs do the job as a fun side note. There's a bit of Stug math for you. Stug math. It's math, but it's cool. Center side here, Grenadiers, Panzer moving forward. See, probably actually should just merge the Grenadiers here with the Panzer Grenadiers. You have to withdraw the last guy. Missed opportunity there. Missed opportunity. Could have just kept the Panzer that got them to full strength, and you know, that's just me. Anyways, got the Nebelwerfer here ready. The Nebelwerfer's flying field sake. They had numerous models of Nebelwerfers. Each model there being increasingly bigger than the previous one, firing larger and larger rockets. A little fun side fact there. Some of the later models will actually fire rockets twice as large as this one, which fires, I think, 15cm rockets, but some like throw like, I think, 30 to 32cm rockets. So there's a little fun side fact for you there. Quick bombardment here on the GI squad here. A rifleman blowing them apart here. Grenadiers supporting with an MP40s. Sturmgeschütze pushing south as well here against Inverse's southern flank. Dartly engaging the Stug at max range, punching through the frontal armor there. 80mm of somewhat sloped armor, which did effectively give it like a pretty decent frontal protection. Not so as much as say a Panther, but you know, technically better than a Panther 4. Plus it had a lower profile, which did make it, you know, a bit harder to hit as well. Need to fire towards the southern positions here. Or not. Oh, he's bombarding the center. That works too, I guess. While squad there being burned up in the scorching heat of the Nebelwerfer. Over to Inverse again.
The battle is in our favor.
Inverse continue to manage good map control back because Native is a bit, I think, too... Again, despite having a lot of infantry, isn't quite at times, I think, fully leveraging it. Again, part of it's just down to getting that healing up rate too slow there. Sherman EC8 on the move here. Inverse clearly lining up for another EC8 as soon as possible. Stug spotted, gets a return hit on the EC8, straight for the side armor of the EC8. Anti-Tango got a shot for the Stug side armor. The left squad advancing the Grenadiers in the centre, pushing forward to free democracy through the broken streets of Pachino. Assault bring up here to well support the assault with the flamethrowers and of course their grease guns. Catching the Grenadiers here of Native in a bad spot, forced to withdraw. Further up north here, Grenadiers hard at work. We got those Panzer Grenadiers heading out here. Sturmgeschütze being repaired in the south. Draft squads going for that southern big point here. Mine goes off, damaging the engine here. In versus EC8. Could be an opportunity, I think, here possibly for Natives launching assault here if he's aware. But looks like, though, fortunately for Inverse, that Native is not aware what just happened here and so can't exploit it. Perhaps, yeah, sort of. Or he's just firing randomly and getting lucky. It's hard to say here what exactly is happening. I mean, he clearly had an idea that something happened, but I don't think he realized the EC8 hit the mine then. It's like the best I can assume. Then meanwhile, Inverse has brought in a second EC8, and again, Native is just, like, still stuck with two Stugs. He's going for the Pack 40, so at this point, that's clearly an indicator he's just hoping to hold up for the Tiger tank. Which, again, under the right circumstances, definitely can work, but also it's not without risks. It's the same way, like, you know, if you just say it's going up for the EC8s and then just go for a lot of Stugs. Beforehand, the EC8 actually can be quickly dealt with, hence the Stug math. So, oh, another mine goes off here. Another mine. Brad Pitt is probably not happy about that. God damn it, contract specifically said no mines. Gives me a headache. And upsets my tummy. There you go, Punny spotting, Pack falling up Stug as well. He's repairing the EC8. He doesn't push in too hard there. Grossly allowing the EC8 to get his engine fixed here. Missed opportunity again here by Native in the south side. He routes moving forward. Sturmgeschütze awkwardly moving forwards. We've got Grenadiers being caught with Panzer support by the Ralph squad. Inching forwards and further up north, the EC8 striking at northern flank here of Native. Don't think he's paying attention. Could get a wipe here. Gonna take a while. Troops catching up the troops there, which means they can't support here. And the EC8 racing north as well here. Missed opportunity to feel like here by Native against Inverse. The centre here, German infantry still at it. We got 310 versus 185. Grenades going from the south. The anti-tanker spotted. Force way here. Sturmgeschütze pushing forwards now. Point blank blast here could be an idea. I'm actually surprised Inverse willingly rushes up to like veterans who run Sturmgeschütze here. Perhaps it's a brain fart. Perhaps he's just confident his opponent's not going to try a point blank blast. It's hard to say here, but like had he popped a point blank blast, that could have been a white there. So that feels like a bit of a strange move there. And a missed opportunity for his opponent. Anti-Tango wiped out Stug, pushing forward to the Pack 40, engaging the EC8. One shot goes through, the other one bounces, but the Pack gets a punch from the EC8. Second EC8 up there under Brad Pitt's command. Engaged here with the Sturmgeschütze, anti-tank gun, and narrowly recruited here by a few plucky surviving assault engineers. Fresh troops here getting ready for another push here. All victory points, almost control of Inverse. Again, Native does seem to struggle a bit here with map control despite having so much infantry. Though, of course, now with the soldiers backing up, Inverse does technically have a fair bit more infantry. EC8's on the move again here, clearly feeling confident. Pack 40 spotted, machine gun being knocked out here. Nebula flying to the advancing column of Inverse's tanks here. Stug moving up there, got point blank blast and a bunch of infantry. First shot whiffs, but is clearly enough here to force Inverse to reconsider what he's doing. Stug, though, Explosive side armor here to the EC8 to quickly push in. Pack 40 setting up. Great shot on the EC8 here. Stug takes another side hit of the pathing, definitely struggling, and thankfully should get fixed with the upcoming patch as well there. They've definitely got a lot of stuff they're fixed in terms of pathing. Stug pushing forwards here. E6 push back, a brutal duel here of wits and steel. Back to native.
We are losing the lead.
Closing in on the Tiger tank. He's less than a command point away there. Grenades off here. Stug's done heavy need repairs, and he's only got one Pioneer squad, and it's all the way up north, by the way, just to make things more quick laying down mines. That's definitely not ideal here for native. Definitely means more opportunity for Inverse to like just push the tempo here versus native. Germany's hit, pushing Portugal. He's up the Pantherfast. They're going to blast out the engine here of the tank. Good work there. Grenadiers caught the Ralph squad here. We got poured on them against the Grenadiers. Machine gun panzer moving forwards here. Suspect he is, yeah, he's basically saving resources for that Tiger tank here. He's spending everything on the Tiger tank now versus Inverse. Can he get there? Stug's pushing forwards. E8, they're hauling ass out of there. So close, that Tiger tank, yet so far. Panzer Grenadier here spotted. More mines exploding somewhere. Up north here. We got 123 with the 10.
Awaiting orders.
Enforcing healing. Sturmgeschütze need repairs. Up north we got the Grenadiers Ralph squad here. Ripping loose at close range. Nebelwerfer for barrage going off here. And there you go. Finally got the Tiger tank out here for native. Also finally getting his Stugs repaired. Also I'm sure reinforced. So in this case we could just merge the Grenadiers quick with the Pads Grenadiers. Get them to full strength. Always a nice little trick there. But clearly native is not interested. He's got too much going on in his mind that can typically handle these more stressed situations. They typically like tend to overlook stuff like that. So we'll have to see of course his plan. But Enna's got like a pretty good position. He's got like, you know, the big 2-point lead. He's got 2 EC8s. And his opponent's like struggling, I think, to get his stuff going here. So definitely rough stuff here for native. Quite a challenge at him, despite again having the infantry superiority. Again, Inverse I think was quite able to negate it. But also think in some regards native just struggled to like really leverage it as efficiently as you could have. And certainly considering like how many Panzer squads he's got and how many Grenadiers, I'm surprised he hasn't merged Grenadiers with the Panzer Grenadiers as much as he could have. As it really helps preserve manpower. But also, you know, frontline strength of the Panzers at times there. Pushing forward south with the Panzers catching this on units. We've got 52 versus 310. Sturmgeschütze Tiger tank pushing in the center there. Pack spotted here, wiped out by N versus GIs. Stug there. Tiger tank continuing the advanced outputs, crushing the assault engineers here with the sheer weight of firepower being deployed against them, almost wiping out the assault engineer squad here down to 1 man. Pop goes the Weasel. Tiger tank pushes in here against the EC8. Slices right through the armor like a hot knife through butter. Got the anti-tank and this lining up. Tiger tank turning around here. Of North Grenadiers routed. Good shot. Oh, decent shot there. Sturmgeschütze pushing up here. Ripping through the anti-tank and crew here. Needs to swing on the north or the center point now. He needs to gain more victory points down to 11 here. Versus Inverse. Rushing forward to the Stug and the Panzer Grenadiers here. Easy counter-attacking from the side here. Stug's pushing forward. Tiger tank slowing forward here as well. We got 7 points left here. We got 6. Oh dear. Should actually focus on the infantry rather than EC80 in a sense. To clear out the infantry there. Bunbury got 4 points left. 3 points left. EC8 down. Captain about to get wiped. That's not going to matter. 1 point left. And there you go. GG. Game over. So an interesting heavy infantry strategy here with a mix of Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers with breakthrough, which you typically don't see so much of. Partly again because it's kind of more efficient just to go for a lot of MP40 Grenadiers at the moment, and then just say push for the Panzer Company or just lots of Stugs. So the shift to Panzer Grenadiers was interesting, but again I feel like was under-supported by them not going for the medical station as soon as possible. I think Panzer Grenadiers really need the medical station or some other source of healing to really be efficient long term, and I feel like in that sense again a lot of them suffered a lot of damage, so they just, you know, could have been healed up fast, but they didn't. and I think that slowed down there. You also just think struggled like to really like leverage 5 infantry squads in terms of map control against Inverse as much as it could have, and that definitely also think it proved to be helpful there for Inverse, of course, able to like slap that down a bit. Plus, again, I think he tried to stall out for the Tiger too soon, when he could easily, I think, afforded more Stugs, or like even push for a Panzer Company and start getting some Panda 4s to help put more pressure on the EC8s before the Tiger tank stall begins. So that's also like one of those things to keep in mind, like, you know, even if you're playing like something like a Tiger tank, it's typically a cutoff point where, like, you know, you don't want to like start too early to save up for it. It's like want to focus on what you can push out on the field here, and I feel like Native there began stalling for the Tiger tank, or holding out for the Tiger tank too soon resource-wise, when you could, like, say, push for both Stugs, or, you know, Panda 4s, or whatever else he might have liked. I think had he, you know, garnered something a bit extra to support the 2 Stugs he had, he would have been in a much better position as well. So there you go, hope you enjoyed this match, I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family about your enemies. And as always, you can also support the Propagandacaster with donations or pledges on Patreon, helps me a lot there. Links in the description. So thank you all for joining in, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye everyone.